Jackbox Party Pack 5
Yeah.
out October 17th, I'm pretty sure.
You're correct.
Every year, this is like the Call of Duty equivalent, right? Every year, it's how's Jackbox this year? Varying in quality to some extent, always a fun party game. If you're not familiar with these games, it's up on the screen. It's released on every system known to man. Then you play with your phone. And it's just the easiest system. You go to
In
a
browser.
In a
Not
browser.
even an
You don't
app.
have to download anything. You can play with up to 8 players. Then I guess if you stream it, there can be technically like 100,000 people
10,000,
contributing. Thank you. And voting online for these things as well. But it's basically, hey, use your phone, write some jokes with some friends, and yuck it up.
Yes.
Jackbox Party Pack 5, what stands out, sir?
I really like Madverse City,
Yeah.
where you're playing it's like a rap battle where there's these giant robots, and the way that it works is you come up with a word. It's kind of like Mad Lib style. It'll say like verb or noun or whatever.
Right.
You do that, and then it generates a line that ends in that word that you suggested, and then you have to use that to then work on another line. So you're writing like battle verses, and then it does like a voice synthesis that sounds very robotic.
Yeah.
And then people vote on because you're going head to head with another player.
So it's a beautiful idea of having text-to-speech, which is going to sound crappy and like a robot. So why
Yes.
not have robots battling while they're also destroying a city?
Yeah.
It's very unclear what's happening in the lore in this game
I
overall.
just want to know more.
Come on, why'd they cut the single player? But yeah, overall, it's weird
like
to
that one.
have those skills put on blast for your person who's like, I've never really had to write rhymes, let alone like insult raps before, but that's the beauty of Jackbox, is forcing you and your friends to flex a new muscle.
It was fun in that new gameplay today, getting really specific and including your opponent's name because you know who you're going against.
Yeah.
So going after Kyle for his glasses, for example.
Right, or his genitals. Just any of the staples that you go after Kyle for.
That's right. The tenets of Kyle.
Is that your number one game in the pack this year,
I
Clark?
would say yes.
Oh, interesting. Leo, where do you stand? What's your number one this year?
I like Patently Stupid.
That's
I
my
do
number
too.
I
two.
think we're going to be playing that a lot. It's very
Yeah.
performance-based. It's like Nathan For You we've compared it to. I think that really sells it. You've got the drawing, you've got the title of your invention, and you've got the tagline, and you can present in any order.
Yes.
And you're pitching an invention, which is something like having that slightly more theatrical angle. It's something kind of new for the Jackbox Party Pack. But Dan, so it's like, all right, here's the problem, and it's filling in a blank, and it's going to be surprising for you, right? Because
I
people
can't
are following
sleep
problems.
because there's always and then a blank,
Ants.
and you write your prompt, and then it shuffles those around, and people choose the prompt that they want to use from the pool, and then they have to design a product, and they come up with, like, you draw like on a cocktail napkin what your solution is to the problem, and then you come up with a name of the product and then a tagline for it.
It's really perfect. It's the perfect fusion of like everything that's fun about Jackbox, of like writing a joke, drawing, and then adding the slightly more presentational aspect to it. Yeah, that's my favorite of the pack this year. And not only because we got the exclusive reveal of it on a new gameplay today a while ago, but I wonder if that's a little bit in my mind. But no, it's great. Also, You Don't Know Jack
Yeah.
is back, baby.
What a classic.
Yeah, and so this is the full stream version, as they call it. And so it was in Jackbox Party Pack 1, which I forgot about, but Leo politely reminded
You
me
did
of.
double down on it, which was a super good.
It's not important what I did in that video, and I regret all my actions. But it's fun. It's like you forget what a staple You Don't Know Jack is to your mind. Just like hearing that voice again, hearing those questions, like, oh, that's right, I played a lot of this game back in the day. And it's just trivia with a twist. But Cork, what do you like about that this year?
I like the kind of the wrapper for that one, which is based on like a fictional streaming video service.
Called Binge Pipe.
So the the questions will appear like in a window, and there's also like a playlist on the bottom of just stock photos and like things that they've like photoshopped and just like names of shows that are supposedly in the programming.
It's like suggested videos, but it's just a great avenue for, as the game's continuing in the top screen, having just jokes from this team just like filing through on the bottom, just packing more and more jokes onto that screen at any one time is so smart and shockingly funny. Dan.
Does it still have like the screw mechanic?
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, that's
It's even
diabolical.
better.
Yeah.
It's better than usual because
Really?
like, everyone is entering stuff on their phone. So what it'll do, like one of them might make all the text upside down. Another one might convert all the answers to like tweets. So they're all jumbled up like in a hashtag.
So it's
without
just really
spaces.
hard to read. Or like one of them was, it made the font size like 100 font or something. So you have to like scroll like crazy to like
Okay.
get through all the
Okay.
You
options.
had to enter a password before you're able to like choose the answer.
And there was a typo in
And
the
there's a typo
password.
in the password too. So
It's
you look-
diabolical.
Yeah, it's
great.
Yeah, it's super
Okay.
fun. And then obviously Split the Room, which is something that I didn't have the greatest time playing with a small group, but playing with a larger group.
Yeah.
Some
It's a
appeal.
fun game. Yeah.
You want to explain what's going on there?
Yeah, with that one, you're kind of given would you rather type scenarios almost, and you've got to come up with a thing that you think that will split the room evenly or as close to it as possible.
So you're not trying to go for like the jokiest answer.
Right. So it might be like you're living in a world without butter. Instead of that, you have to put this on your popcorn. So you try to, would you do that? You know what I mean? It's kind of a weird concept to kind of wrap your mind around, but it makes sense when you're playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely
it's got a
agree.
Twilight Zone theme too, which you gotta love.
It is very fun. So it's all like, they have names for it, like a different Twilight Zone episode going in. It's like a cat as Rod Serling. It's surprisingly fun. Yeah. And then best for last, Zeepeldome, Jeff Cork.
Hot trash. Just
Zeepeldome?
Zeepeldome. It's like a Angry Bird style drag and release mechanic, and you're bouncing these little characters. It has nothing to do with Jackbox party games in general overall.
Yeah.
And you're like hitting targets and
it's not it's cooperative, which is interesting, but it's not like it's definitely the weakest of the pack, but I appreciate that team is at least trying something different instead of just, hey, we're sick of dick jokes for a little bit. Let's just go for something more action based, which, it works well enough as far as flicking your guys around the screen.
After you play it once, it should say, if you want to check a box, do not show again on the menu. It's just not fun.
You know what I wish they had in Jackbox?
What's that?
Is the more I play it, and I've played so much of these games throughout the years, is I want like a turbo mode. I want like, there's some funny stuff in there. The writing from the team and the VO is good, but like I just want, let's get to this game. I've played this 1,000 times. I don't want the setup of the rules again and again and again. You can skip the tutorial, but there's still padding in there for them to slip in their jokes. They're great, but after a year of that stuff, like let's go.
What I would love too is like if they were to release kind of like a pinball FX style like home for all the Jackbox party games to go under, because now like with this being the 5th installment, they've got more than 20 different games. So if you're bouncing around, you're like, oh man, I really want to play Fibbage, or I want to play Quiplash or something like that. You have to back out of a game and jump into the next party pack and everything. It'd be great if they all just kind of resided in one location. It would scan your collection, put them all at what you have, buy them piecemeal if you wanted.
Yeah,
pin your favorites,
like that. Pin your favorites.
Yeah, Leo Vader.
Hey,
if people have not played a party pack before. First of all, best party game you can play.
Yes.
The group, like
everyone loves it.
I was at a party on Saturday, and my friend bought Super Mario Party because that's a party, right?
Yeah.
Played that. I was counting on the seconds till that was over, and that's a fine time. It's Mario Party. I'm a Mario Party defender, but playing that, it's like, let's get to some real fun here. Let's actually have some real laughs instead of just getting screwed over by a dice block for the 400th time. But some people out there might not be familiar with it. Which would you point to? Because as Cork mentioned, there's 25 games in these packs and standalone games as well. What are the must-buys, Leo? Buy, don't
party
sell.
Pack, rather than the standalone.
What should people look up and buy if they want a good time? You know what I mean?
Great question.
Yeah.
I think Jackbox Party Pack 4 is the best package overall.
I'm sorry that you're wrong out of the gate, Leo, but go ahead. Why is that?
I think every game in that rules. They're not my favorites, but there's no duds in there.
That's Fibbage 3, Survive the Internet, Monster Seeking Monster, Civic Doodle, and Bracketeering. I think that's one of the weakest in my mind. I think that might be bottom of the heap.
That's the magic of Jackbox. Different friend groups will exclusively play one game, and then if I try to introduce them to another one, they'll hate it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've got my real life friends who only play Drawful. We played so much Drawful that we stopped playing because we knew all the words. All the prompts.
Wow, okay.
I've got my online friends, and we only play Quiplash. My family only likes Fibbage for holidays. I've tried to
Fibbage
introduce them to other
family.
things. Hate it.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think Jackbox Party Pack 3 is still the best. That has Quiplash 2, and Quiplash is still the number one. Also because it's also the fastest game of just get jokes out there. Here we go, baby.
It's a t-shirt one too, right?
TKO, which is a long burn, but that payoff of like designing your own t-shirts, always hilarious. Faking it, slightly underrated. I like the real world aspect of like having to lie and raise your hand and fit in with the group. It's a little bit of like that Avalon aspect. So I would recommend, okay, here's what you do. You get Jackbox Party Pack 1, which has Fibbage and Drawful in it. And Drawful 1 compared to Drawful 2, Drawful 1's fine. It's great. Jackbox Party Pack 3 has all those I just mentioned. And I think 5 is a solid one this year.
Yeah,
It's a little bit like a Star Trek movie where every other one is good in my mind.
It's been so long since Drawful that if people have just gotten into Jackbox in the last couple of years, definitely get Drawful 2 standalone. That game is totally worth going back to.
It's super fun. That was just a clip from a larger show called The Game Informer Show. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play, or GameInformer.com. We take the fun opportunities and exclusive information from Game Informer magazine and boil it into a show that airs every Thursday with exclusive cover story information, developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So come love games with us.